You're being called. The universe has aligned your miracle, but there is one thing left to do. Archangel Michael says, if you delay, it will vanish. Open this now. There comes a sacred hour in heaven, a pulse of divine precision when destinies are drawn into perfect alignment. It is not coincidence that you are hearing this now. It is not chance that your spirit has been restless, stirred, or awakened in this very moment. Heaven's timepiece has reached its appointed mark, and Archangel Michael steps forth as the messenger of this appointed season. The air itself feels charged because something unseen has shifted. The currents of the Spirit have rearranged themselves so that your path meets your miracle, not tomorrow, but now. Every delay, every silence, every unanswered prayer has been positioning you for this exact breath of time. The Spirit whispers with intensity, this is not coincidence, it is alignment. The unseen has been at work, moving through people, moments, and even interruptions to bring you here. You were not forgotten. You were being synchronized. Archangel Michael speaks with the fire of urgency, the fire that pierces through confusion and commands awakening. He comes as a herald, appearing in the sudden repetition of numbers, in the unexpected surge of emotion, in the dreams that feel too real to dismiss. His message is not scattered. It is surgical, directed toward those who can feel the trembling in their soul, the subtle vibration that says, something is shifting. This word is not for everyone. It is for the one who knows they have stood at the threshold too long, feeling heaven's weight pressing on their chest like the stillness before a storm. There is a silence that hums in the air right before breakthrough, a holy pressure that builds before release. That is the silence you feel now. The universe has already aligned your miracle. It waits not on time, but on obedience. The forces of light have moved every piece into place, yet the only thing that remains is your movement, your yes. The clock of heaven ticks softly, but decisively. Delay is the only enemy now. The Spirit of God is declaring through Michael, do not wait another heartbeat out of fear or doubt. The gates have opened, the blessing has formed, but it stands at the edge of vanishing for those who hesitate. Heaven has done its part. Now it waits for yours. Type I am ready in the comments if your spirit receives this message. Blessing code 1444 is now activated. In the hour when confusion thickens and time feels suspended, Archangel Michael descends, radiant, commanding, and unstoppable. His voice thunders through the noise of the mind and cuts through hesitation like a sword of living fire. Do not delay, he declares, and time itself pauses to listen. For when heaven speaks, the earth trembles. Within hours, decisions must be made. Before the sun rises again, your spirit must answer. The message that now reaches you has not come by accident. It has pierced through distractions, bypassed resistance, and arrived precisely at this divine second. Heaven has interrupted your routine because this message cannot wait. The universe itself has rearranged its order to ensure you would hear these words now. Archangel Michael stands in the radiant center of this alignment, his armor shimmering with the light of obedience. His command is not one of fear, but of awakening. You have prayed, waited, and wondered, but now heaven responds. The delay you once called silence was actually preparation. The angels have been holding position, waiting for the signal of your obedience to release what was promised long ago. And in this hour, Michael declares, the appointed time is now. Heaven leans close to you in this moment, closer than your breath, closer than your thoughts. Every vibration in the atmosphere echoes the same truth. You are being called. There is no randomness in this word, no generic blessing wrapped in nice words. This is a holy assignment, a direct summons to the one who feels the weight of destiny pressing on their heart. If your spirit has felt heavy lately, if your nights have been restless, if your emotions have swayed between anticipation and anxiety, then you are the one. You are the vessel heaven has chosen to awaken. The stars are aligned. The winds of spirit swirl in divine choreography. Portals of manifestation open above you, waiting for your movement. There is a trembling in the heavens, because obedience is what sets the miracle in motion. Archangel Michael's command comes again. Do not delay. For hesitation is not neutrality, it is resistance against divine flow. The longer you wait, the weaker the spiritual current becomes. The miracle was aligned not for a lifetime, but for a moment. A sacred window in time, a door that opens only once. Heaven's urgency is not punishment, it is protection. The universe knows how fragile divine timing can be and how easily distractions can rob destiny. That is why this message comes like lightning, quick, sharp, unavoidable. There is no coincidence that you have encountered this voice today. The hand of God has orchestrated this meeting, ensuring that nothing could block this transmission. The Spirit whispers again through Michael. Do you feel it? The shift, the stirring. Every part of creation moves in agreement with divine timing, but heaven cannot override free will. The call has gone forth, but your response will determine its manifestation. Within hours, the unseen will respond to your yes. The angels are already moving, standing at the edge of your obedience, waiting for your decision to unlock their assignment. Heaven is watching. The universe is listening. The miracle has aligned. Yet one act remains, one movement, one surrender, one yes. Delay, and it will vanish into the ether of what could have been. Respond, and it will crystallize into what must be. The Spirit's final whisper in this moment is clear. Do not delay. For in the time it takes to doubt, opportunity dissolves. This is your moment to answer the call. Not tomorrow, not later, but now. Type "I will not delay" in the comments if your spirit receives this command. Blessing code 1777 is now surrounding you. There is a sacred trembling in the air right now, the tension that comes before revelation, the resistance that rises just before breakthrough. This is where many souls falter, where confusion slithers in like smoke and tries to whisper doubt into the ear of destiny. You have felt it, haven't you? That subtle pull between knowing you are called and wondering if you truly heard right. The enemy of time loves to disguise hesitation as wisdom, to cloak fear in logic, to delay divine motion through the illusion of uncertainty. And yet, even as you question, something inside of you refuses to stay asleep. Something in your spirit keeps burning, keeps stirring, keeps reminding you, you were meant for this moment. Archangel Michael stands guard as the holy messenger between your spirit and heaven's plan, and he knows the storm well. He has seen the unseen forces that rise to interfere the very instant a miracle nears completion. These are not coincidences. The sudden fatigue, the clouded thoughts, the emotional heaviness that came out of nowhere. These are spiritual signals, indicators that your atmosphere is being tampered with by resistance. Those who are close to breakthrough often experience the greatest warfare in the quietest ways. It's not chaos. It's distraction. It's not confusion. It's interference. They sense your breakthrough, but they do not understand its fullness. They feel the vibration of your ascension, and in desperation, they whisper delay. You may have noticed how sleep has become restless, how even in moments of peace your heart races with invisible pressure. You may find yourself staring into nothing, sensing that heaven is trying to speak through silence. These are not symptoms of despair. They are confirmations of awakening. Leonese is divine. It is heaven pressing against hesitation. The discomfort you feel is the shaking of old structures making way for new alignment. You are not falling apart. You are breaking open. The Spirit is recalibrating your frequencies, demanding your attention because heaven has something urgent to deliver. Archangel Michael's voice cuts through the fog. Listen to the trembling. It is the sound of destiny calling your name. Every moment of resistance has been calculated to slow your agreement with divine timing. Yet every whisper of fear, every surge of doubt, every sleepless night has failed to silence what is already written in heaven's scrolls. You are chosen for a reason, and chosen ones are never left untested. That heaviness on your chest is not defeat, it is the weight of spiritual birth. The universe has contracted, preparing to push your destiny into manifestation. The pain is proof of the promise. Have you felt watched lately? Have you sensed eyes upon you, unseen but certain? That is the awareness of heaven's witnesses, the ones who stand over your life, ensuring that the prophecy written over you will not die in delay. They are waiting for your agreement. Heaven's command has already gone forth. The miracle has already been aligned. But if your spirit remains entangled in doubt, the energy of manifestation cannot fully descend. Remember, this disruption is not to destroy you. It is to draw you back into awareness. Every unease, every question, every moment of restlessness is heaven's way of calling you closer. And so Michael says, do not mistake the shaking for loss. Do not interpret the silence as abandonment. The stillness is sacred. It is the pause before release. What you are feeling is not chaos. It is alignment rearranging your soul from within. There is a storm, yes, but it is not against you. It is for you. It is uprooting delay and forcing your spirit into readiness. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The interference you feel is the friction between the old you and the obedient you. Heaven is demanding your attention because something holy has reached maturity. The disruption is not the enemy's victory. It is heaven's signal. It is the divine wake-up call that says, now or never. Type I am awake in the comments if your spirit receives this message. Blessing code 1888 is now flowing through you. Beloved, if this word has stirred something within you, if you feel the fire of recognition burning in your chest, know this. Your obedience does not just awaken your own miracle, it helps others find theirs. Every time you pour into this mission, you become a vessel through which light flows to countless souls still lost in delay. As you sow, You are not giving to a channel. You are planting into a divine harvest of transformation. Archangel Michael's mantle of protection surrounds those who help carry heaven's message forward. The oil of alignment flows over those who build altars of light in dark places. This is your moment to act, not in hesitation, but in obedience. If you feel led, support this mission through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the video description. Let your seed be a declaration. I stand with the call of heaven. As you give, may rivers of divine favor break open in your life. Your obedience in giving becomes your prophecy in motion. Blessing code 1999 is now activated for every obedient giver. Every soul marked for divine destiny must pass through the corridor of conflict, not a battle of flesh, but of spirit. The shaking you've felt is not a mistake. It is the testing of readiness. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold between hesitation and obedience, watching with divine precision as heaven weighs your response. You are not being attacked by circumstance. You are being awakened by purpose. The battlefield is invisible, yet it surrounds you. Thoughts, distractions, emotions, doubts. These are the shadows that rise when light draws near. You are not weak for feeling resistance. You are powerful enough to provoke it. The enemy knows who you are, even when you forget. The conflict that surrounds you is not punishment. It is proof of calling. Heaven allows the struggle because destiny demands discernment. If miracles were released without testing, their weight would crush the unprepared. So the Spirit permits this divine tension to prove the strength of your faith, to refine your discernment, to ensure that when the miracle arrives, it does not slip through your unready hands. You are chosen, Michael declares, his voice echoing like thunder, and the enemy knows it. That is why distraction has multiplied, why fatigue has increased, why every delay feels amplified. The adversary has sensed heaven's movement over your life and seeks to slow your step through confusion. But hear this clearly. Heaven has already chosen you. Delay cannot disqualify you unless you agree with it. This is not a war of distance, but of decision. Every moment you hesitate, the miracle's momentum weakens. But every act of obedience strengthens the current of manifestation. The conflict is not about external events. It is about spiritual timing being tested within you. Heaven's energy flows through the open gates of faith, but stalls at the walls of fear. That is why Michael's sword gleams before you now, not to frighten, but to cut away hesitation. The universe has already arranged your alignment. Your only task is to remain steady in belief. There is a holy tug of war happening, heaven pulling you forward, hesitation trying to anchor you backward. Each time you say yes in faith, light increases. Each time you delay, shadows expand. Michael reminds you, this is not chaos. This is calling. Heaven is not angry with your questions, but heaven will not wait forever for your answer. Every delay drains the spiritual voltage surrounding your miracle. Urgency is not impatience. It is obedience clothed in awareness. The timing is divine, the invitation sacred. You may feel weary, as though your strength is thinned, but understand this. You are standing in the gap between manifestation and surrender. The weight you feel is the gravity of heaven pulling your purpose into form. This conflict is spiritual training, teaching your soul how to stand firm even when unseen forces whisper retreat. You are learning to command your season, not to be commanded by fear. Michael stands as protector and witness, ensuring the miracle reaches you only when you step forward. He watches every heart movement, every choice, every thought, measuring readiness through faith. You are not under attack. He says again, you are under awakening. The shaking is divine strategy. The struggle is holy verification. Heaven is aligning your obedience with its orchestration. This is why hesitation feels heavy, because divine energy cannot rest in indecision. The battle is not yours to win by force. It is yours to win by surrender. The enemy's tactic is to keep you overthinking when heaven needs you moving. The universe is already leaning in your favor. Heaven's resources are stationed around your promise. But heaven cannot deliver what you hesitate to receive. So stand. Decide. Believe. The delay ends when your obedience begins. The time of testing is nearly complete. Heaven is watching for your move. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing code 2020 is now active and surrounding your spirit. The hour has struck, and Archangel Michael's tone deepens. The urgency is no longer gentle. It has become a decree. The window is closing. He declares, his words vibrating through the unseen corridors of the spirit. The divine countdown has begun, and heaven's clock ticks with unrelenting precision. Within 72 hours, the spiritual winds will shift. Those who answer will rise upon them. Those who delay will find the opportunity dispersed like mist at dawn. Heaven does not speak idly. When Michael appears, it means divine timelines have reached a point of critical convergence. This is not the season to ponder. This is the season to perform. Listen carefully. Signs are already manifesting around you. Numbers repeat in patterns too precise to ignore. 111, 333, 777. Codes of awakening echoing through the veil. You have felt the sudden chills, the waves of emotion that arrive without reason, the quickening of your heartbeat when you sense something unseen passing near. These are not random sensations. They are heaven's signals. The spiritual world is pushing against the boundaries of the physical, urging you to move while the heavens are still open. Even now, someone somewhere is speaking your name in rooms you have never entered. Divine conversations are unfolding about you, orchestrated by unseen hands. What you have prayed for is being positioned, yet heaven awaits one final act, your obedience. The energy is mounting. Heaven has set the stage, aligned the people, opened the gates. But here lies the holy tension. Obedience cannot be delayed without consequence. Archangel Michael warns, if you hesitate, the current will break. Spiritual currents are like rivers. They flow only when faith moves in rhythm with divine timing. If you pause too long, the river shifts its course, and the opportunity vanishes into the flow of eternity. There are moments where heaven insists upon action, and this is one of them. You have felt the acceleration in your spirit, that unease, that fire, that urgency. It is heaven's countdown resounding within you. Do not mistake this as pressure born of fear. It is not fear. It is holy motion. Heaven moves in precision, not chaos. What is being offered now will not come again in the same way. The door will not close in anger, but in divine order. for heaven cannot keep its gates open to indecision forever. The miracle has ripened. Its energy hums in the unseen, waiting to crystallize into your reality. Yet miracles do not fall into the hands of the idle. They respond to faith-filled movement. The call is clear. Act, declare, decide, align. Heaven will not wait twice. Michael's presence grows stronger. His light splits the air, cutting through hesitation like a sword through fog. He speaks again. Delay no longer. Within 72 hours, the alignment will pass to another. There is no malice in his voice, only truth. For divine opportunities are living things. They seek readiness, not reluctance. And when they find hesitation, they move to another willing heart. This is why obedience is everything. The miracle you have prayed for is not lost. It is waiting to attach itself to the one who says yes first. The air around you thickens with urgency. You feel it in your spirit, the sense that something vast is about to move. Heaven is pressing against the boundaries of time, urging your spirit to synchronize with its rhythm. If you have been seeking confirmation, this is it. This is the sign. The universe has already prepared your portion. The angels have already positioned your blessing. But your yes must ignite the release. Michael's command pierces once more. There is one thing left to do, and heaven will not wait twice. This is your divine moment of action. Step forward. Speak your yes. Move in obedience before the window closes. For heaven is in motion, and your miracle is in the balance. Type I will ACT now in the comments if your spirit hears this warning. Blessing code 2121 is now active around your destiny. After the fire of warning comes the calm of clarity. Archangel Michael's light does not merely burn, it shelters. The voice that thundered now softens into a tone that steadies the trembling heart. Be still, he says, but not inactive. Heaven does not call you to panic. It calls you to precision. The universe is shifting around you, but divine protection encircles those who listen. This is the sacred pause, the still point between obedience and manifestation. It is the moment when heaven whispers, now that you have heard, listen deeply. For silence is not emptiness, it is instruction. There is a difference between stillness and stagnation. Stillness is holy strategy. It is the moment when your spirit aligns completely with heaven's rhythm. The angels are moving even when you appear still. And in your quiet obedience, you are commanding great movement in the unseen realm. Michael urges you to silence the noise around you, the opinions, the doubts, the fears that echo from voices not aligned with your purpose. He reminds you, heaven speaks between your heartbeats. And if you will only pause to listen, you will hear the next step clearly within. You may be asked to perform simple acts of obedience now. Light a candle. Write the vision heaven placed within you. Pray not as a routine, but as a release of authority. Speak your yes aloud so the heavens can record it. These actions are not small. They are spiritual triggers. The moment your obedience is set in motion, divine energy rushes to meet it. Stillness, when guided by faith, becomes the most powerful form of movement. The quiet moment of surrender is the gate through which miracles pass. Michael's wings spread wide around you, and a fortress of light encases your space. Every shadow that once whispered fear now dissolves in his presence. You are protected, he declares, as long as you move with heaven's rhythm. Divine timing is not fragile. It is guarded by hosts of angels assigned to you. Each obedient step you take releases another layer of that protection. Every moment you listen, heaven draws nearer. And in this nearness, delay loses its power. Let peace return to your spirit. The chaos was never meant to consume you. It was meant to awaken discernment. The shaking you felt was heaven clearing interference. The silence you now feel is not abandonment. It is preparation. God is teaching you to recognize His frequency, to know when to move and when to wait. In this holy stillness, heaven is sharpening your hearing. Listen now for the next command. It may come through a whisper, a sudden thought, or a sign appearing at an unexpected hour. Do not dismiss what feels subtle. Heaven often hides greatness in simplicity. Archangel Michael speaks once more, his voice both gentle and commanding. Do not fear the waiting. The waiting is not a wall, it is a womb. In this sacred stillness, your faith grows, your confidence strengthens, your vision clarifies. Every obedient soul must pass through this chamber of peace before the promise manifests. It is not punishment, it is preparation. Your stillness is a weapon, an act of spiritual alignment that repels confusion and magnifies divine favor. Now breathe. Feel the air of heaven moving around you. You are surrounded, protected, and guided. The energy of divine timing is recalibrating to your faith. Do not rush, but do not resist. Stand firm in peace, for obedience in motion is now coupled with stillness in spirit. Heaven moves when you move, and heaven rests when you trust. Both are acts of faith. Michael concludes, the danger has passed. The delay has been broken. Now you must guard your peace as you guard your promise. Type I am protected in the comments if your heart receives this message. Blessing Ode 2323 is now surrounding your home and spirit with divine light. There is a divine shift taking place now, a movement from fear into power, from trembling into triumph. The atmosphere around your spirit is no longer heavy, it is electric. Archangel Michael steps forward again, his wings stretching wide across the horizon of your destiny. The sword that once worn now gleams as a symbol of victory. You are no longer waiting, he declares. You are being positioned. The heavens are not delaying, they are rearranging. The energy that once felt like resistance is now transforming into acceleration. The shaking that once unsettled you is now propelling you. Heaven has declared that the waiting season is over. This is the divine pivot, the moment when your perspective shifts, when you see that nothing was wasted, nothing was denied, nothing was lost. Every delay was a recalibration. Every disappointment was an alignment. You were not being denied. You were being designed. Michael's light radiates through you, and suddenly you see yourself as heaven has always seen you. Chosen, powerful, anointed, unstoppable. The hesitation that once paralyzed you begins to burn away under the heat of holy realization. Fear cannot exist where revelation is rising. Hear these words in your spirit. You are not running out of time. Time is running toward you. The universe is bending its rhythm to match your obedience. What was once withheld is now being magnetized to your faith. You have stepped from waiting into becoming. This is the holy transition from hope into manifestation, from expectation into authority. The miracle that once hovered above you is now descending into your atmosphere, drawn by the frequency of your surrender. Heaven is now responding not just to your prayers, but to your readiness. Archangel Michael's voice strengthens, his words carrying the power to ignite courage in weary hearts. You were never meant to crawl through fear, he says. Your wings were built to rise. The fire that once frightened you was meant to forge you. Every trial, every hesitation, every battle has been shaping your spirit into the vessel heaven can trust with victory. Now, the embers of your faith ignite into flame. You begin to feel divine energy moving through your hands, through your words, through your thoughts. You realize that heaven has not just aligned your miracle, it has awakened your power to command it. The call is no longer one of panic, but of purpose. You are not being chased by time. You are being carried by divine momentum. You are stepping into the realization that miracles are not given to those who wait passively, but to those who partner actively with heaven's rhythm. The universe is echoing your faith. Every thought of trust becomes a command to creation. Every declaration of faith becomes a magnet for manifestation. You are now walking in spiritual synergy. Heaven moves because you move. Michael stands beside you, his armor radiant like the dawn. Do not look back, he instructs, for your strength is found in your forward gaze. The energy of regret is heavy. The energy of obedience is light. The moment you release what was, you make room for what is arriving. The miracle you thought had vanished was simply waiting for you to rise to its level. Now, a time has come. You are no longer bound to fear, delay, or uncertainty. You are a vessel of divine momentum, moving in step with the eternal flow of creation. Heaven rejoices at your awakening. The angels surrounding Michael lift their swords in salute, for a soul that was once hesitant has now remembered its authority. You have moved from being a seeker to a carrier of light. The words you speak from this moment will hold weight in both realms. You are an extension of heaven's power upon the earth. The waiting is over. The rising has begun. Type "I am rising" in the comments if your spirit receives this shift. Blessing Code 2424 is now ignited within your divine purpose. The veil begins to lift. What was once hidden now unfolds before your spirit like a scroll opened in heaven's core. Archangel Michael stands in the center of this revelation, his armor reflecting the eternal light of truth. Now you will understand why you had to wait, he says, and his voice carries both comfort and command. The waiting was never punishment. It was refinement. Heaven was not silent. Heaven was sculpting. What seemed like stillness was actually the sound of divine architecture being formed behind the scenes. Every unanswered prayer was a blueprint being drawn. Every delay was a test of endurance that birthed discernment within you. The silence wasn't denial. It was the sharpening of your spiritual sight. The Spirit declares, this was not delay. It was preparation for your miracle to meet your maturity. Had the blessing come sooner, it would have overwhelmed you. Had the door opened prematurely, the foundation would have cracked beneath the weight of destiny. But heaven, in its mercy, allowed the waiting to purify your motives, to deepen your awareness, to prepare your spirit to handle what you are about to receive. Now the time of questioning has ended, and the time of revelation begins. Michael steps forward, holding a radiant scroll marked with your name. Your name has been spoken in heaven's court, he proclaims. The scroll has been opened. The decree has been released. The miracle is not random. It is a contract between your soul and divine timing. Long before you questioned, heaven had already written your fulfillment. The reason for the struggle is revealed. Heaven was aligning your capacity with your calling. Every obstacle you faced was a teacher. Every setback was a staircase. You were never being ignored. You were being expanded. And now, because your heart has endured, your spirit can finally carry the magnitude of the blessing that belongs to you. Feel the shift now, the divine momentum that follows revelation. The heavens above you are alive with movement. The angels begin to stir, light bends, energy builds, and the air around you hums with purpose. Michael raises his sword and points it toward your destiny, and the spiritual atmosphere responds. What was withheld will now flow, he announces. The gates are opening, and the streams of abundance are being released. You may not see it yet with your natural eyes, but the release has already begun in the unseen realm. Heaven is fulfilling promises that seemed forgotten. Doors you once knocked upon are now swinging open by divine order. There is something sacred about this unveiling. The clarity that comes after confusion feels like sunrise breaking after a long night. You realize that every delay was perfectly timed. Every silence was sacred. The frustration was a sign of growth, not failure. The mystery now makes sense. Heaven needed to synchronize your readiness with the right environment, the right people, the right season. And now that alignment has been achieved, nothing can prevent what is destined. Archangel Michael's wings extend, wrapping around you as if sealing the revelation within your spirit. Do not doubt again, he says, for what has been revealed cannot be revoked. The universe itself is conspiring for your fulfillment. The heavenly court has ruled in your favor. The miracle that once lingered above you is now descending to meet you. The waiting has transformed into wisdom, and wisdom has become your weapon. You are no longer the seeker. You are the receiver. You are no longer praying for permission. You are walking in possession. The revelation is clear. The miracle was never about timing alone. It was about transformation. You have become what your miracle required you to be. Type "I have seen the revelation" in the comments if your spirit receives this word. Blessing Code 2555 is now activated, and the scroll of favor is being unsealed over your life. Beloved, as this revelation flows into your spirit, know that heaven moves through every word released on this channel. Each prophetic message is a vessel carrying divine light into hearts that are weary, forgotten, and searching. When you give, you are not supporting a voice. You are fueling a mission of restoration. Every offering becomes a torch of light placed in another soul's darkness. Heaven watches those who help carry its message forward. The oil of favor flows upon every hand that sows into truth. If this word has awakened something inside you, I invite you to sow into the revelation through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the video description. You are not just giving. You are activating alignment in your own life. As you give, Michael's mantle of acceleration surrounds you, and doors begin to open in divine response. Let your giving be your declaration. I partner with the light. Blessing code 2666 is now upon every giver who stands with the word of heaven. Now heaven moves closer than ever before. The atmosphere is thick with divine electricity. Your name vibrates through unseen realms. The message that began as a whisper has become a summons. Archangel Michael stands before you with eyes of holy fire and says, "It is time." Every delay, every hesitation, every question that lingered in your heart now meets its answer in this one command: activate your destiny. You were never meant to only dream. You were meant to declare. You were never meant to only wait. You were meant to awaken. The alignment of heaven and earth is now complete, but the miracle cannot manifest without your participation. Say yes. Say it aloud. Say it with conviction, with the weight of every moment that brought you here. Yes, I accept. These 3 words open portals. These words tell heaven you are ready to step into the timeline that was designed for you since before your birth. The angels move at the sound of your surrender, because your yes is the key that turns the lock of divine fulfillment. Heaven waits for it. The miracle listens for it. The universe responds to it. Heaven waits for your yes, Michael repeats, his voice reverberating through your spirit. Say it, and watch the world rearrange itself around your obedience. This is not symbolic, it is spiritual law. Every movement in heaven requires a corresponding echo on earth. Your faith becomes the sound that travels across dimensions, commanding energy to gather around your purpose. Small acts of obedience, writing, forgiving, releasing, stepping forward, are not insignificant. Each one releases motion in the unseen. Each one accelerates manifestation. The moment you obey, divine energy begins to rush toward you like rivers breaking through a dam. The angels assigned to your promise rise to fulfill their duties. The universe rearranges its events to escort you into destiny. Miracles follow motion, Michael says, but hesitation cancels them. Heaven cannot occupy the same space as indecision. You must move. You must believe that your voice carries the authority of heaven's decree. The miracle is alive. It listens for action, not just hope. Every heartbeat of hesitation slows its arrival. Every movement of faith speeds it forward. This is why obedience is not optional. It is the language heaven understands. Imagine now that you are standing at the edge of a great river. The current is strong, shimmering with divine light. You can feel its pull, its urgency, its invitation. One step forward will immerse you in it. One step back will return you to waiting. The water hums with every prayer you've ever prayed, every tear you've ever cried, every promise you've ever been given. Michael extends his hand and says, "Step in." The water is ready. This is your moment of crossing. There is no more preparation to be done, no more sign to ask for. The alignment has been achieved. All that remains is motion. As you speak your yes and take your step, the spiritual landscape begins to transform. Obstacles start dissolving, paths begin appearing, people start calling, opportunities begin unfolding. Nothing in the universe can resist a soul that moves in obedience. You are not forcing doors open. They are opening in recognition of who you are. Your yes is your signature in heaven's ledger, the confirmation that you are ready to inhabit your promise. Michael's wings spread behind you, his light surrounding you in radiant confirmation. You have activated the code of destiny, he declares. The miracle is now in motion. Do not stop. Do not look back. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon of purpose, for heaven now walks with you. This is the hour of activation. This is the turning point. You have crossed from waiting into walking, from hoping into happening. Every promise is now aligning in real time. The universe is no longer holding your miracle. It is delivering it. Type "My destiny is activated" in the comments if your soul agrees with heaven. Blessing Ode 2777 is now sealed over your obedience and forward movement. There are transactions happening right now in realms unseen, sacred exchanges that your natural eyes cannot perceive but your spirit can feel. Archangel Michael stands in solemn command as light ripples through invisible corridors, carrying your yes into the throne room of heaven. Heaven's scrolls are opening, and in the quiet, unseen space between dimensions, something is being transferred. The old weight that has clung to your spirit is being lifted, and in its place, the energy of victory is being released. The unseen hands of the divine are reaching into your timeline, rearranging what once seemed lost. While you sleep, heaven speaks. Michael whispers. While you weep, heaven records. In the silence of surrender, the greatest miracles are negotiated. The universe is responding to your obedience. What seemed delayed is now being accelerated. What was withheld is being released. There is a holy transaction underway. Sorrow is being exchanged for joy, weariness for strength, confusion for clarity. Every tear you've shed has become a currency in the realm of spirit. Nothing you have lost has vanished into nothingness. It has been gathered into the archives of heaven, awaiting this very moment of release. You were never forgotten. Heaven has been working in stealth, weaving restoration beneath the surface of silence. You may not hear it with your ears, but your soul knows it's happening. The tension you feel is not chaos, it's transfer. Something deep in your spirit is shifting, like a door unlocking without sound. It is the sacred exchange, the invisible agreement between heaven and your destiny. The universe, under divine order, is redistributing everything that once slipped through your fingers. What was stolen through hesitation is being restored through obedience. The delay that once frustrated you was simply the holding pattern before heaven's redistribution. Michael's presence intensifies, the air around you shimmering with power. Your spirit said yes before your mouth did, he declares. And that yes was enough to move heaven. Even before you spoke it, heaven heard the vibration of surrender from your heart. And now, that vibration echoes through dimensions. Angels are carrying your name to places where your presence will soon follow. The divine record keepers are writing new decrees of abundance, favor, and restoration in your book of life. You may not see the writing yet, but your spirit is already reading it. This moment of silence is not inactivity. It is divine transaction. Heaven speaks through stillness, moves through silence, and creates through obedience. The unseen is far more active than you realize. Behind closed doors of the spirit realm, heavenly negotiations are being finalized. The power of your faith has authorized angelic movement. The universe has entered a state of divine recalibration. What belonged to you, but was delayed, is now returning in multiplied form. Even the years that were lost, the moments you thought wasted, the prayers you thought unanswered, all are being redeemed in this exchange. Michael lowers his sword, not in retreat, but in completion. Nothing has vanished, he says. It only waited for alignment. The silence you endured was the waiting room of miracles. The tears you cried were the signatures on heaven's contract. The moment your faith aligned with heaven's timing, the transfer began. You are standing now in the center of a divine exchange. Everything that left your life without explanation is being replaced by something greater. Not later, but now. As you breathe, heaven moves. As you rest, angels deliver. You do not have to force this. You only have to receive. For this transaction is already sealed in your favor. The universe has recognized your name, and the spirit realm has acknowledged your obedience. Michael's final words in this section carry the sound of completion. The exchange is done. Rest in knowing that nothing you lost was wasted. It was waiting to return as glory. Type "I receive the exchange" in the comments if your spirit feels the shifts. Blessing code 2888 is now active. Divine restoration flows to every area of your life. The air grows thicker now, charged with the vibration of holy restitution. The atmosphere shifts as heaven's courtroom convenes. Archangel Michael stands once more at the center of divine authority, his sword blazing with the light of justice. The decree has been written, the verdict has been rendered, and the Spirit announces through him, what delay tried to steal, God will multiply. This is the hour of reversal. This is the moment when divine justice overtakes the timeline of your life. The same universe that once seemed silent now roars with redemption. Every injustice, every loss, every hidden betrayal that wounded your spirit has reached the throne of heaven, and the scales are being reset in your favor. You must understand this. Heaven does not forget. Every act of obedience, every sacrifice made in faith, every moment you stood in light when darkness pressed around you has been recorded. And now, those records rise as evidence in your defense. The gavel of divine authority strikes, and Michael's voice echoes. Justice is already in motion. Heaven is not deliberating. It has decided. What the adversary meant for delay is now being transformed into acceleration. Every weapon formed against your purpose has not only failed, it has become fuel for your elevation. The universe itself obeys the law of divine balance. For every tear, there must come laughter. For every season of loss, there must come restoration. For every delay, there must come double fulfillment. This is not poetic justice. It is spiritual law. The Father of Light has spoken, and his decree reverberates through creation. My child will not end in lack. My chosen will not end in waiting. Heaven has commanded repayment with interest. Where time was lost, acceleration will come. Where opportunities were missed, favor will multiply. The same paths once closed are reopening with greater blessing. Michael's wings flare with golden light as he declares, balance is being restored. You are not only being compensated, you are being elevated. The very forces that conspired against you will become witnesses to your restoration. Those who doubted your stillness will witness your sudden rise. Those who mocked your obedience will stand silent as divine favor floods your life. This is the mystery of reversal. Heaven does not merely correct what was broken. It glorifies it. What was withheld through resistance is now released through divine decree. Even now, spiritual energy is reversing cycles of stagnation. The atmosphere that once felt blocked is beginning to move again. You will notice it. A shift in conversation, a new name mentioned, a door opening without explanation. Do not dismiss these as coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven has issued new orders concerning you. Your name has been spoken in rooms you have not yet entered, and your breakthrough is being discussed by hands that will soon deliver it. This is the rhythm of divine justice, the unseen becoming visible, the delayed becoming delivered. Michael raises his sword once more, this time pointing it not toward opposition, but toward fulfillment. The law of divine recompense is active, he proclaims. You are stepping into overflow. You have sown through silence. Now you shall reap through speed. You have endured in private. Now you shall rise in public. Every shadow that covered your light is retreating under the authority of heaven's order. The universe itself bends to accommodate your restoration. This is your divine reversal, not a mere correction, but a complete reordering of all things in your favor. The story that once carried the weight of delay now carries the fragrance of testimony. Heaven is proving its loyalty to those who refuse to let go. And as Michael stands before you, the final word in this chapter resounds through eternity. Justice has found you. The waiting season has ended. The reversal has begun. The floodgates of favor are open. Stand still for a moment and feel the power of restoration rushing toward you. Type "I receive divine justice" in the comments if your spirit agrees with this word. Blessing code 2999 is now active. Restoration, recompense, and reversal surround you like a river of glory. And now, the message reaches its divine conclusion. The heavens grow quiet, not because they have ceased speaking, but because the decree has been completed. The atmosphere around you hums with fulfillment. The sound of promises seal. Archangel Michael stands before you once more, his presence radiant with completion. The universe has aligned, the call has been given, and your obedience has activated the miracle that was waiting beyond the veil of hesitation. What began as a whisper from heaven has become a movement within your spirit. You are no longer the same. The old patterns of delay have dissolved. The hesitation that once restrained you has been replaced with divine momentum. Heaven smiles upon your yes. Michael lowers his sword, not in surrender, but in blessing. The battle is over. The alignment is secured. May your yes echo through realms unseen, he declares. May it call forth angels, open gates, and draw divine favor without limit. The obedience that once cost you now crowns you. Heaven has recorded your surrender as a declaration of faith. The Spirit of God now surrounds you, marking you with the seal of divine timing. From this day forward, no delay shall stand again. No hesitation shall intercept what belongs to you. The miracle that once hovered in waiting is now manifesting in motion. Feel this truth settle into your spirit. You are seen. You are chosen. You are called. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. Everything that felt broken has been reforged into strength. Every unanswered prayer has found its time. You stand now at the intersection of heaven and earth, carrying the frequency of alignment in your very breath. The universe recognizes your surrender. Angels recognize your authority. Heaven recognizes your name. You are no longer searching for signs. You have become the sign. Michael's light surrounds you, a radiant mantle of gold and blue, signifying protection and divine favor. Go forth, he says, his voice resonating through your soul, for your miracle awaits. Walk not in fear, but in fulfillment. The path ahead is illuminated by your obedience. You are sealed in divine timing. Nothing can interrupt what heaven has begun. Every step you take will resonate with holy precision. Every word you speak will carry the vibration of heaven's decree. You are walking now in the current of destiny, unstoppable, undeniable, anointed. Heaven's gates have opened and your miracle flows freely. The old weight has lifted, and the new season unfolds like dawn after a long night. Peace settles over you like warm light, assuring you that the battle was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. The delay was not a denial. It was an awakening. You are ready now, fully aligned, fully awakened, fully chosen. And so the message ends as it began, with heaven's voice calling your name. Rise, says Michael, for the time of fulfillment is now. You are under divine covering. You are within divine flow. You are the living testimony that obedience opens the gates of heaven. The miracle is no longer approaching. It has arrived. You are blessed. You are ready. You are rising. Type "I am anointed" and ready in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing Ode 3131 is now surrounding your path with unstoppable divine favor. Beloved, as this final word settles into your spirit, remember, every message here is more than sound. It is a living prophecy reaching hearts across the earth. When you give, you don't just support a channel, you ignite the mission of heaven. Every seed you sow becomes oil for the next voice that needs awakening, light for the next soul ready to rise. The same angels that guard this word will guard your giving. As you pour into this mission through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into divine momentum. This is not a donation. It is a declaration. It is your prophetic act of agreement with the movement of heaven. As you give, may doors open without delay. May divine resources multiply around you. And may Archangel Michael himself go before you. Let your giving echo your faith. I stand with the word of heaven. Blessing Node 3333 is now released over every obedient giver. Abundance, protection, and elevation shall follow you.